Middle school will always be the weirdest era for a teenager's life. In eighth grade, I was somewhat of a good balance between sport dudes and nerds. For my first teacher story, it's gonna be. Well, by the way, there's gonna be one teacher I'm actually gonna hate, so stay tuned for that. Miss R was never the typical bad teacher, or she was not mean to me. She just liked to give us lots of work, like 3 essays due in 1 hour. In her class, I would make often mistakes, but she would just ignore them. She's like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. You're still getting an A." For science class, I wasn't paying much attention because we were just watching videos. Unless if it was Bill Nye, then my brain was active. PE class felt like therapy. History class was a good balance between good and bad, but I found it so annoying when my history teacher gets mad with like literally the smallest
Why is
things.
he built like a Muppet?
For my Explore class, it was basically art class. Saving the best for last, and the teacher that I hate the most, my math teacher. Let's call her Miss Nibbles. I had her for most of my 2 years in middle school. One of the rules that I hated the most in her class was turning on your camera basically no matter what. Literally, what's the harm in that? What do you think I'm gonna do? Rob a bank? But one of the saddest and funniest parts, when I got an answer wrong in seventh grade, I would just burst into tears because I got it wrong. Eighth grade, I just simply didn't care. Or I would just wait for the class to be over and then just flip my middle finger. Overall, her rules in the class were dumb. Her strict rules will be turning on your camera no matter what, and don't move from your chair, and overall, very low assignment points. The class was very hard, and I barely passed. And even when I remember in the final month, she was like, keep threatening me with, you're not gonna pass this class, or you're gonna fail. Keep in mind, I already went to a field trip to a university, but this wasn't a normal field trip. It was a trip to Disneyland. Let's just say for my field trip, it was fun and hilarious, but I might explain that in a future video. Also, in the timeline, I was at least 1 week away from my practice promotion. For the day of graduation, I got dressed and I brought my camera, and then it didn't take long to get my diploma. I took lots of pictures, but when the ceremony was over, I was a little bit let down because nobody wanted to talk to me or take a picture with me. Eating from a buffet and eating donuts and watching Rise of the Planet of the Apes for sure made up for it. Fun fact, the art for Miss Nibbles was inspired by the movie Middle School The Worst Years of My Life. And the funniest part of all of my teachers were there for graduation except for Miss Nibbles. She was really fed up from us.